How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the den. You got your tackle leader here, Garcia. Today we're going to be going over the Voodoo Ranger American Haze. An amazing beer. Let's go ahead and hit that B-roll. What is a porter style of beer? A porter is a style of beer that was developed in London, England in the early 18th century. It was well hopped and dark in appearance due to the use of brown malts. The name originated due to its popularity with street and river porters. The term stout porter would later be shortened to just stout or porter, and become two very distinctive styles of beer. So go ahead and enjoy one. And that's the answer to your Cackle quiz. Voodoo Ranger American Haze Hazy Session IPA. With notes of passion fruit and freedom, American Haze is supremely drinkable, juicy, and unfiltered IPA brewed with all American hops. So go ahead and enjoy yourself. A Voodoo Ranger American Haze. Now, if we go on to beeradvocate.com, you can go ahead and see the American Haze scores an 86. Out of 100, that's a very good beer. It's ranked 30,087 out of all total IPAs, which isn't a bad ranking considering how many IPAs there are. Now, we've definitely seen IPAs that have ranked higher than 30,000, but I'll go into why I think this beer is in the 30,000 range with that. Now, the IBUs are at 30, which is still on the lower end of IBUs, I would say. My co-host might say that this is a bit harsher. Now, if we go onto the New Belgium website, you'll go ahead and scroll down to the Voodoo Ranger, and then from there scroll down further to the American Haze. Now, the New Belgium website is the main brewing company, and they also have other titles underneath them, such as Fat Tire, Voodoo Ranger, and some others. Now, I think that the site is a bit busy, and it's not as easy to navigate when you first go to it if you don't automatically know that New Belgium is the overall brewing company. If you don't know that they have other titles underneath them, when you go there, you're going to be a little confused at first. But after you figure it out, it becomes a little bit intuitive. But again, I think the site's a bit too busy. Now, if you go ahead and go all the way down to the American Haze page, then you're going to see that they use multiple American hops and multiple American malts. One hop that they use is Amarillo, and then one of the malts they use is malted oats. As you can see, if you read the description there, it has passion fruit in it, which you can definitely taste the citrus. It's a very beautiful can that they have. The beer it's hazy. It's not as bright as the Tangerine Express that we had before, but it's definitely not as heavy with the IBUs. It's not as bitter as the Tangerine Express. This, I'd have to say, tastes less or lower on the IBU scale, but the actual IBUs are about 5 higher than the Tangerine Express, the other IPAs that we've had so far. In this season, this is the highest IPA we've had, but it definitely is a lot smoother. Now, the consistency of the beer isn't as light as the Einstock that we had earlier or the Tangerine Express. When you drink this, it's more like drinking with the consistency of like a light orange juice. So it's a bit on the thicker end, but it's an amazing beer nevertheless. I quite much enjoy it. The carbonation on it is, as you've seen in the B-roll, we'll go ahead and hit one of those spins one more time. The carbonation on it is not heavy. This would probably be, other than the Einstock Toasted Porter, the lowest carbonation that you could see. You can have, if you get close up to it, you look over the glass, you can see a couple of the carbonation bubbles coming up, but it's not really heavy on the carbonation after the initial pour. Now, that's not taken away from the beer. It's an amazing beer, and it's quite refreshing. I would definitely have this beer on a hot day while I'm doing work on the bike. I would not have this beer if I'm going to be doing yard work or anything out actually in the sun, but I would definitely take it on my bike as well. If I was going to go camping on my bike with my friends, I would take a case of this beer, and just imagine yourself sitting around the fire. You got your motorcycle set, you got your tent set up, you got the fire roaring, you're sitting there joking with your friends by the fire at the night, drinking a couple of the Voodoo Rangers American Haze. That just sounds like a perfect night to me. Thank you for joining us on this episode. That's the American Haze by Voodoo Ranger, a fantastic beer. Highly recommend you trying it. If you're going out, go ahead and check this beer if you see it out on tap. The last video we did was the Einstock Ogre Toasted Porter, which was another fantastic beer. Go ahead and check us out on the Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook page of Hyenas_Den. If you're looking for a motivational podcast, swing onto the podcast channel at Hyenas_Den and give that a listen. Now that is very different than what we do here on the YouTube. That's more motivational and me talking to friends of mine, old military buddies, and getting the motivational word out there. Swing on by Beer Advocate and check out our reviews on each of the beers that we've tried. Leave your comments down below, and if you have an answer for the Cackle quiz, go ahead and leave a comment. If you got that last question right, again, leave a comment. Like, subscribe, really helps us out. See you later.